Namaste, brother.
Namaste. Welcome you. Welcome everyone.
Welcome, everyone.
Right.
Well,
This is Magic. We're live. You're up. It's 5:30. Huh? It's good for you. It's not 7. It's not 4:30 a.m. Right? Because we already had some nice flow into the time zone thing, and we coached ourselves through that.
we
Woo.
did. Welcome, everyone, to the How to Be Your Own Coach live series, which is now going to happen every day at 5:30 in the morning. My time.
Yeah, for him.
Little tiny violin. Pacific time. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 a.m. CST time, 1:30 p.m. CET time, up to the big day, which is our
It will
mini.
be 2:30. It will be 2:30.
Oh,
I need to
it'll
correct
be
because it will be
2:30.
2:30 our time, like European time.
You got to remind me to fix
Yes,
that.
yes.
And two
Beauty of the
thirty
life. The beauty of the life.
CET time. Yeah, but you know that I'm not gonna watch that in time. You got to tell me later. and for our big mini retreat that's going to physically happen in New York City on December 3rd, 2022, and
Oh
then
yes,
Zoom globally.
yes.
Amazing.
We
Amazing.
chose to make it happen. We chose to make it
Mm.
happen. We we felt ourselves in a need. We realized how important it was to fulfill, to meet that need of both of us financially, in terms of serving others, in terms of expanding and really owning who we are, all of the levels. So the need turned into we must. The must, like when something is very important to you, you need to coach yourself through that. And the must turn that I must make it happen. I must embody that next level coming from my model. So that becomes we will. We can actually. It becomes we can. We must. And then we can. Just coach ourselves through that. Therefore we will. Therefore it's done. And now you have us here a week and a half later, pretty much. It's happening. It's on. New Yorkers and global citizens all around the world. In-person event and global event.
It's going to be magic. We have so much planned for you, and we will have tons of time to talk about that. But that's not actually what this is about. Every single day, we are going to pick a different topic that we are going to download info in on, that we're going to chat about, that we're going to coach you on.
Feel
You
recorded.
are, welcome.
Welcome to go to hop on to be coached live.
Mm.
You have two powerhouses in here that want to serve you
Tell them
towards
what we're
true
talking about.
spiritual wellness. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Through, and I will actually finish what I was saying and land onto what you just asked because it's perfect together through spiritual wellness and plant powered practices and next level embodiment model. We will talk today. Jamie, you sure to me the honor
It's yours.
is mine. So we will talk today about posing, having a pose, having that retreat. This is why we shifted. It was an intensive in New York City. I was like, we don't want to hold the space for an intensive, and they're already in an intense environment. We want to offer a a pose that is creating value in extraordinary ways. And so, posing is today's keyword. Posing, observing, being into that awareness, self awareness, outer awareness space, looking at things as they happen. And no matter the state, don't take action out of the bad state, bad situation, bad emotion you're in, but being able to breathe through it, process it, and act, not react. This is what posing brings into your life. Self observation. How often do you pose in your life? This is why, this is one why we're hosting this mini retreat, how to be your own coach through posing. Through posing, you truly get an advantage on your environment, on your reality. You're posing, you're not reacting to it. It's not throwing at you things and you're, oh, and you give it back. You actually but hold it. You grab it. You hold it. You observe it. What is that? What is that? What is the problem that I personally rephrased as proposal life is giving at me? What proposal are you giving at me? I'll pose, breathe, move. What do you think, Jamie?
I am learning to love the pause. The pause has been something that I've had to learn. And we chose this topic today because in our conversation a number of hours ago, we realized this beautiful synchronicity that we have, that I have been guided to learn how to flow. And yet I pause quite a bit, but I talk a lot more about flow, and I talk a lot more about this balance, this continuum, and that Arten flows so powerfully. And he talks a lot about pausing. And we find ourselves organically pausing. Like I had actually decided, I had already downloaded before we came on, that we should pause like we usually do. Because this is actually something that, like, automatically and authentically, Arten and I do every single client. I don't think we've like ever not done it. We just pause and breathe and exist together. And I didn't even have the opportunity to tell you that I wanted to do that, and we just did it because
Mm,
the power of pause allows for the flow of connection. And I don't think it's about flow or pause at all. I think that it's about how the flow and the pause come together,
mm, yeah,
where they meet each other. I
where
think
they're the
that's where
same
the
thing,
balance is. Yeah.
where they are the same thing. They meet and they become one thing only. Talking to this, talking right to this, you're in a flow the whole day.
Mm.
And I gave Jamie two images earlier this morning, yesterday night, for you in the Pacific. Um, Flow is this continuum, right? It keeps going. It's movement. It goes, it goes, it goes. And in this movement that happens, there's moments of indeed a pose of slowing down. It's like the curve goes up, 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 and then it slows down and it comes to plateau and it goes. Sorry, it goes up and it comes to plateau and it goes down again. So there is this. continuous like movement, and then it's part of the movement. It's part of the whole movement. Like reassess again. Now it's time to go down. This does life. These do seasons. These. I imagine a wheel. A wheel is spinning. The wheel of the car. The wheels of the car. They go. They go. They go. They go. And then before going back, or before, yeah, like before going back. Let's take it from there. They can't just spin forward and then spin backwards. They have to slow down till the stop, and then they go backwards. And in that moment, hopefully, you turn yourself and look back. There's that moment you actually pause and look, change focus, change direction. When things are changing, directions are changing, life says things are changing. Like I'm actually going through big grief for a program. I've been removed at the very end because of financial position. Like was not concluded whatsoever. Like I'm coming very raw here. And okay, life is changing. Things are going different route. Okay, I had this whole emotion, like oh train of things on me. The only thing I could do, because I had many things on like one after the other, so to speak, today. I mean, I couldn't just take action from that space. And here we enter. Pose, observe what? Your state, yourself. The state of things when you pose and like look back, you look at the road. When you look at posing in your life, you look at yourself. Self observation. And this is key. There can't be anything else without it. And it's not all. I will speak to the other elements in the coming days. Be assured and let us know. Let us know what other elements you'd like to know about also. Let us know what you're interested in and what proposal you're getting from life in this very moment. We might speak to that. Might get you on board here to have a conversation with you about it. But in New York, if you want, of course. Now I'm very invitive. I'm very welcoming. Um, but pose and flow. If you want to flow, you also need to take into consideration that yes, you have to stop, rejuvenate, recalibrate, reassess every now and then at least. Two things you have to do, and with this I drop it to my dearest Jamie. Two things in life, all right? Rejuvenation and value creation. You create value or you rejuvenate. And to do this, you need focus.
This is where we left the conversation and where we came up with having this because I proposed to Artin and I said, well, when like a lot of the things that you touched upon, these are different cycles. If we're in a cycle and we're in a state of flow, are we actually stopping? Is a pause always an actual stop? Like, is that's what I wonder, or is it a continuation of one experience? Like, are you perhaps pausing from one part of the experience, but you're still in a cycle of some kind? So,
you're
like,
still in it.
You're still in it. That's why I was like, they weave in to one another. I think they weave in another.
Uh-huh. You know what you make me think of is the being and the doing. Kind of be to have to be kind of paradigms. And there is this aspect of society that gets us to do so much. Um, But society is outside. Society is external, where it is outside of us. It's distracting, draining, sometimes overwhelming at others. It's also satisfying and fulfilling. Also the good things, absolutely. And it's still the outer, doing and moving things. Like you literally need to move to grab the phone and move the phone if you want the phone to be on the other side of the table, unless you're kine, what is that? Kinesia, or I don't even know what the name of it in English is, but you move things with your thoughts. But anyways, what I was saying is that you need to physically move it, but before moving it physically, it starts in your thoughts. There was a desire to move the phone. The desire had a reason to meet a need of yours. Inner value creation, inner work. And therefore, when you pose, you actually go inward. You do inward. You're still doing. You slow down to get there faster in your lifetime, in your existence as a being. Jamie, drop it in.
Can we push pause to appreciate you right now? First of all, like, I spent potentially an hour um, really attempting to get my brother to agree with exactly what you just said. And I feel like healed in this moment. because, because at least
Reconfirmation.
at least
With
someone
partnership.
else gets it.
But
So
like this is the good partnership. There's
oh
this
my god,
next
like
level embodiment model. It has the first pillar, the first stage, the first element is posing and self-observation, and the third one is integrity, alignment,
I
all
love
this kind of like
oh my god.
being in alignment so that you connect to the right people. But you cannot find out the integrity and the alignment and the values, and so connecting to the people who are aligned and in frequency and resonance with those, if you do not pose and observe. I just wanted to make this kind of like even stronger and saying, hey, look at what connection we got here. Now I'm confused. I always do this when I'm on video with someone. um yeah,
So
yeah,
satisfying.
like the connection,
I'm
the
really just
frequency, the
allowing myself to
resonance.
have this moment. I'm
Yeah.
really allowing myself to pause. One of the things that Arton and I were talking about with pause are the layers and possibilities within pause. Like how many different ways you can pause, how you can take different actions within a pause to pause, how you can react to different pauses, what that can manifest for you, and so on and so. I mean, there's so much there. There's so much there. And we were like, oh, let's save this to unpack. And here we are. We saved it to unpack. So now we get to unpack now.
We're unpacking. We're unpacking, and what we will be unpacking in the actual space that we're creating
Mm,
for you
yeah.
listening. Uh, that's gonna be like I mean, now we talk about it. It's context. It is actually global context. Someone that everyone can understand. The big global pose that we've had.
Having somewhat still.
Yeah, somewhat having still. Right. It's not felt in Italy, fortunately, much anymore. But yeah, totally. And my heart goes to the ones who are still into that pose and situation with pandemic. But that that global pose, how did that feel? Where did that take you? What caused into your life? And not external life, because it caused, of course, something in your external life. Undeniable, useless to go about. Well, what did it create within? Okay, maybe you went back into the very, very, very same thing. of before. Yet you're different. There's something that shifted, and there were maybe some moments of that forced, imposed, if you want, not really planned, pause. That there were some moments of that you were really like browsing realities. There was something about reality that you couldn't grasp anymore because it was different. Like that, oh, posing. It was allows you to see the realities among the unlimitedness of realities you have at your disposal to choose. And posing allows you to make the decisions in the way you want to make them. Without a pose, there's just reaction out of like what was in the brain before you got a request from an employee or from a team member or from your boss. You just they say something and you go immediately. You have something on your mind. You're on Facebook and they ask you, "Can you do this by tonight?" And you go like, "Yes." And you know that by tonight you couldn't do it, but by tomorrow morning you could. But you were like, "Oh, my boss is calling me. I'm on Facebook." Yes, you didn't pose. Look at this scenario. They ask you something, and like, "Can I?" No, boss, I cannot by tonight. But I assure you, tomorrow morning it will be on your table. You see what position you put yourself in the two scenarios?
I do. I'm in every scenario.
I mean, every
Something I
scenario.
just
Yeah.
realized here. Something that just downloaded.
What was it? What was it? Give it to us.
Yeah, I wanted
Give
to
it
come
to
back.
the people.
I really wanted to come back. Um, half asleep.
Let's
Okay, it's
honor
back. It's
Jamie.
back. It's
Let's
back. It's
oh,
back.
it's back. Yeah, let's honor Jamie for being here, and it's back. So
Alignment.
alignment.
That's the bridge.
Hmm.
Hear me out. If you are in complete alignment, there's no need to have a pause that is perceived stop. This is like what is achieved within Tai Chi and Qigong. The goal of bringing the body into alignment and balance. And breathing, when you come into the breathing and you move with your breath, and everything is completely in flow and in total alignment, there's no need to stop. You complete the entire form without having to stop. It's a complete fluid movement, even though the movement is all over the place. The energy flows and changes directions without any resistance, without any challenge whatsoever.
Mm.
So, can we consider that pause does not always need to be a stop? Like, what do you think about alignment being the bridge?
Alignment being the bridge. I like the idea of having a bridge connecting parts, and I do see like this cycle um, happening because I said a few minutes ago, posing self-awareness, self-observation breeds breed integrity, breed alignment. Then once you're in alignment, you have the doing, the aligned doing, the conscious doing, the doing in integrity. You need to keep the actual self-awareness. You know, integrity is a breach, and I don't know how you call this kind of breach, but the breach that opens, huh? um, but it
Oh,
is
a
that kind of
drawbridge?
breach. What is that?
There, I think a drawbridge.
Yeah, I mean, whatever bridge is needed to make boats pass through, whatever. But yeah, bridges that lift up, yeah, and they open. So
Yeah.
now you have this bridge, which is alignment, integrity, different words for the same thing. Um, the guards, you need to imagine guards at the gates of the bridge. Those guides are observers, are your self observation. Your self observation allows you into alignment. Acting, so passing through the bridge of alignment, acting through alignment, will get you to another point. Guess what? Two guards here, two guards there. They observe in here as well. After every doing, there must be an observation. There is the universe that expands and contracts the whole time. There is an in breath for every out breath. And these two go hand in hand. As observing is finding what makes you feel aligned, is taking action on it. And is keeping that alignment going. Keeping, yeah, that alignment through observation. Keeping that observation going. Keeping it up. Because when you maybe are on the wrong side of the bridge, those guys are watching. The guards are watching. Your ability to observe is watching. And it's maybe easier conceptually, especially at the beginning when it's not habit. But put your hands on anything that gets you to slow down. Any content material, advice whatsoever that gets you to observe. All right, now I get to pause for a moment. I get to reassess everything. It's like it's the end of the year. How did the year go? Talking business, making decisions. How can you make decisions for the next year if you're not looking back to how the year went? Financially, staff wise, marketing. Like, how do you make decisions such as those ones? You just don't in anything. I mean, you do, but you're playing hazard. Like you don't know what you're choosing.
Mm. I have some questions.
Hmm.
Number one, can we zoom out for a second? If we zoom out to the highest, our highest consciousness, we're within the collective, so we are at our most powerful in our one. We have all of our souls, all the fractals are in frequency and alignment of exactly where they need to be. We're expanding, we're discovering. Is it required for the whole collective to pause in order to create from within all of these different possibilities and realities that we're all experiencing right now? Within that, piggyback question, and then I'm ready to be quiet. Oh no, tell me that it didn't just leave. No, it's too good. I'm allowing myself this moment of pause for it to come back. Oh. For those who don't know, it is very early in the morning for me. And I would love to shout out to Kat Ang if she's still here. I love you, my dear friend. Knows I'm not a morning person, and she is a morning person. And this is so unbelievably early, and my brain is.
And two differences, rejoicing in them. Look, I reflect back what I heard and let's see if it brings up
Yes,
what you thought.
sounds good. This is a good plan.
So the question in a nutshell would be if the whole collective is required to post, so to manifest what the collective wants to manifest. Is it that, or to manifest what we individually wants to manifest?
All, all of it. Oh, also, oh god, it just came back. Okay,
I knew that.
throwing. So, ironically, asking you to like put a um slight pause. I would say not even a complete pause because I don't want you to pause on the whole thought. I want you to pause on part of the thought and we're going to string it together. Do we agree in the existence of a multiverse from a perspective that we choose? You and I choose to embody. We embody this. We talk about yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so within what I asked and what we're talking about and what you're answering, in a multiverse and everything happening at once, where's the pause?
Pose. So we humans do an interesting thing with reality, and it is attributing meanings to things. How many times it happened to me as a yoga meditation teacher to talk about it with someone who would ask me about it, and then we go deep, and then kind of like they open up on their lives and they share about their lives, and like I'll say, yeah, like meditation, and they're like, yeah, but going the drinking wine is my meditation. I'm like, you want to call it that, right? So it's not the meditation we were talking about, you were agreeing to. So like I come from there, and I have nothing against wine people. I'm in Tuscany, Florence, best red wine in the world, come and see. But um taking it to the question, to the context you gave, realities and multiverses and universes will have their own version of posing. While our version of posing, human version of posing, is versus doing, uh, there's some universe that got the different, that like the opposite. They're posing, and they're overwhelmed by posing.
It
They're
is.
overwhelmed. They're like, I'm posing so much. I'm so overwhelmed. Doing nothing. I'm so overwhelmed. I need to do something. You see? Because you brought it into the everything. So if we're in the everything, that question is like, where is the pose? Everything is posing and moving at the same time the whole time, in no time, because every time is right now, happening simultaneously everywhere.
So, now that we
So
are back, so here's what's power. Oh god, I love this. Was so delicious. First of all, yes. Okay. I perceive that we just literally took this conversation full circle and found alignment into actually coming to the exact same page. And I feel so complete. And I also feel like we're back to this discussion of the deliciousness of pause and flow, of all of these layers and ways of doing this. And so bringing it home, because you and I could talk about this philosophically forever, which we will talk about this so much more at our event, How to Be Your Own Coach, on December 3rd, 2022. Bringing it in context for people, how to be your own coach. How do we use pause and flow as tools, as advantages, as experiences, actions, perspectives, lenses
Mm,
into how
mm,
to be your own coach?
mm. So let me come quick and like cutting through with what next level and what embodiment are. Next level is just change, nothing different. Nothing different but change under good lenses. Because change happens the whole time, something happens to you. You want to choose to look at it as something falling on your head or your next level. And embodiment is bringing it here, here in that, like I'm embodying the next level. So this is what I kind of cut through with. And I say this because the way we use it is pretty much for from my side, and I invite you to also answer your own question, Jamie. That there's as change happens and does not stop happening. Look at what we come back. It's like universe not posing really, it just keeps going. It's just we humans that we need that moment of readjustment in this particular human reality experience case and scenario. But um as life happens, you need a pose, you need some coaching, some therapy, some crying, some sleeping, some um, unplugging, some stepping back, somehow give me synonyms, guys, your synonyms, but you need that to look at what's happening, change is happening. I'm not in that program anymore. I have plenty of time, but I have not the beautiful tribe and network of 200 loving people that I had until yesterday. And this feels like I feel so alone. And like you see, like change is happening, scenario. Like, how is this next level? It's a level. How do I step into it so that it is next, not like failure, so that it is success, not failure. You need to pose for that. You need to pose for that because otherwise you'd be dreaded under the thinking that you didn't make it, like to the payment deadline, you didn't make it to the certification, you didn't make it to yourself. You need to pose because all of that is going to create massive amount of energy that your body needs to receive and process. And here it comes, embodiment, deep, freaking deep inner work, being able to hold more of whatsoever through your pose you're able to see. This is when it comes to next level embodiment, how I use pose. And in our mini retreat, well, it's designed to be a pose so that you have the time and space to tap into the space and states you desire in true alignment with yourself. To get to spiritual wellness, I do this again, haha. To get to spiritual wellness too. Jamie, how you do it? Let's bring it home. Let's bring it
I'm
to
so
New
pumped.
York.
So,
Good morning, New York.
I feel like
And
I
all
just
the
woke
rest, I'm
up.
sorry. We
I
don't want to be asleep.
feel like I just woke up right now because I see it. So I feel like I see something so clear right now.
Hmm. What do you see?
Delicious. You are bringing this 3D earthbound somatic to meet me with alignment. I'll come back to the alignment part, the bridge part, in a second.
And we'll speak about it.
Through to the ether. And I'm coming during our mini retreat from the ether as I'm channeling in and the soul down to meet you into alignment. The alignment is our shared beliefs, our shared values, our shared mission. More though, there's so much more. God, I'm getting emotional right now. There's so
Okay.
much more. There's so much more that allows for that bridge of alignment. But I feel right now so clear that you and I are bringing the best of all the worlds within this to really show people how to embody from every body, physical body, mental and emotional
Oh, yeah.
bodies,
Mental,
spiritual
emotional,
bodies,
crucial.
how to be
On
your
your
own
consciousness.
coach and how
Yeah.
much this all comes together. And when in alignment, that's when you can be the best version of yourself, to be the person who chooses, the being who chooses to be your own coach. That's the that's the version of you that is coachable and is the version of you that also becomes and chooses to be your own coach. And the power
Yeah.
there is extraordinary. And I am so clear and so ready for us to bring this on 12/3/2022.
I am ready to cross that portal too. Mhm. I'm ready to cross that portal too. We're totally bringing it home in a way that connects to worlds. Like our two realities, like coming from two different perspectives and fractals of reality. And um, I wonder the participants to that. I wonder who joins, like coming from that executive world, from that decision making environment. In person will be mostly you New Yorkers, my dearest, who live a life of train speed. What can 7 hours of conscious, like, rinsing and cleansing and directing and redirecting, channeling and recharging, what could 7 hours of space that you take, you create this whoop, decompression thing, how could those benefit you? Think about it, and we're tremendously curious about it. I am definitely curious to hear from you, um and I want to say that we're all so down, all we too so down to serve, that that whomever joins as soon as possible actually gets sessions from us, because I mean, The more pose, the more space you create for yourself. We believe
Mm.
as a human, like a coach or like being in therapy or being like whatever. The more expansive whatever you do out of that pose becomes. Comes from alignment. We go back there. Then there are other elements: the bridge, alignment, the guards at the gates, at the bridge's gates, self-awareness, moving through inner value creation, outer value creation, moving through the two forces, inner work and outer work. Your job, your career, your family, your fatherhood, motherhood, sisterhood, brotherhood. So this is my brother. This time I got it almost right. Man, this is getting me crazy. This is my brother Jamie, London Wahlberg, and I'm Ayrton Julio, and we're so proud to be bringing this. I can't wait. So, Jamie, is there anything else that you feel may add value to our people, to our crowd, to our beautiful souls for the
100%.
next level and wellness?
As a born and raised New Yorker, I want to answer your question and I want to speak to the people that I know. No, I truly, to answer your question, for me, because I don't believe in speaking for everybody, but for me, I literally had to leave New York. I mean, I left New York for several reasons, but I needed to leave New York when I left New York to literally be able to get to figure out how to slow down because of like how just continuous it really is, which is one of also the most amazing things about it. It's the city that never sleeps. It's
Yeah.
the city where you make dreams happen. Like it's a major
So excited
foundation
about it. Oh
of
my God. It's the first time in New York. Please give me a welcome, guys.
it's electric. Maybe you know what? Actually, I have like a poem literally about this. Maybe I'll read this at the event. Um, it's very, very, very special, and it's also super stimulating, and it's very challenging to pause in a space where energetically the frequency has been in a very intense flow cycle for a very large span of perceived human time. Um, I found so much here. And see, the good news is that I mean, if you feel called to come out west and discover a lot of things and have that part of your expansion, I support you 100%. If you are a New Yorker, like I used to be, in the sense of I never want to leave New York, I'm going to tell you that this workshop, this mini retreat, I'm going to be diving so big into all of the things that I have accumulated in the last 6 years of how to pause and flow in California. I'm going to bring that energy.
Kind of.
I'm going to bring that frequency and that knowledge, that wisdom from also New Mexico. I spent a lot of time in Santa Fe over the last 6 years. Well, not over the last 6 years, but over the last couple of years. Um, so I invite you, New Yorkers, who feel that you don't know how to pause, or that you don't deserve a pause, or that you can't pause.
That's big.
If you have a fear of pausing, if you want to be in a flow, but you're actually in a routine that's not serving you, and you're out of balance and you're not living a healthy and balanced life that you love, then how can you be the coach for yourself that you need? We're going to show you. We're going to unveil the curtain of what we have been downloading and continue to do this every day at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Woo!
We have to.
5:30 in the morning for me.
You're owning on your
Um,
morning, on your day.
8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7:30 a.m. Central Time. 2:30 p.m. CET time. All the way through to 12/3/22. So you're going to see that link below. You're going to want to sign up. If you are one of the first 6 people who sign up in person, you get $300 off. You get 2 hours of free coaching. And we have a referral program that anybody can participate in. There's no complicated sign up. You
Indeed.
simply got to send people over to us, prove that you got them signed up, and you get $300 for every in person, $150 for every virtual.
Online. Do
We're
you
global.
believe there's someone needing this? Dropped in very abruptly. Uh, it came and flew. Do you believe there's anyone who needs the pose? I would love to leave you with this from my side. We have built a life of doing and taking poses. Maybe you have the yoga session at the end of the day, you have that hour, maybe 45 minutes. It got so short to 15 minutes yoga classes, I know, in New York and London, like big, not sleeping cities. Um, my proposal to you is to observe how would it look if you could do what truly moved the needle by interrupting your pose and rejuvenation 3 4 times a day. You interrupt the pose, not vice versa. That's the kind of life.
Wait, am I an over pauser? Because now you're like 3 to 4 times a day, and I pause way more than that. My
um,
balance
no,
requires
no, no.
so
Wait,
much
I
more.
didn't phrase it right. Then pose there.
No, I'm not putting
No,
words in
no.
your mouth. I'm questioning. Now I'm questioning.
Are you an over poser? Did you ask that?
Yeah.
There's no. I know this is the exact thing that I'm saying. I don't believe in overposing. I believe that we're so trained and conditioned to do that out of the 24 hours, we tend to um, 20 hours kind of less than 20, let's say 16 hours do, and of course the 8 hours sleep when it happens. And there's the poses. Oh, let me relax for 5 minutes. Oh, let me do the yoga. Oh, let me take some breath. Or like all of that. Um, guess what? Happen that you do what truly makes things happen and what makes mountains move. In I mean, okay, now like turning it around. You live that life into purity of being, and you actually, when you do something, it's like that magic. And I may be going esoteric, but I'm very practical. I am very practical. I'm a super practical person. I love
More than
bringing
me.
pragmatism into spirituality. Um, if you do what's aligned only, your life will be happy. Only, which means instead of um, 13 hours doing, 3 hours being, that's already a privilege for many. It will be 3 hours doing, 13 hours being.
Mhm.
And then you choose the word after being. because
Mhm.
you're in alignment. So being aligned, being happy, and so on and so forth. But we'll talk about all these beautiful topics hyper soon. Jamie dropped the last love,
Download, download,
love,
download,
love wisdom bomb.
download, 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 download time.
Drop it and let's go.
So much of the time, if you are someone who feels that you are running out of time, that you don't have enough time, that you can't find the time to pause, ask yourself, where are you putting your time? Where are you putting your energy? How much of your time and energy are you dedicating to anxiety, to fear, to aggravation, to frustration, to sadness, to depression, to hate? Any of the emotions that you don't want to be experiencing right now or ever? The ones that have you feeling out of balance, the ones that have you feeling like you're not living the life that you want to live. You have to ask yourself if you want to choose this. Ask the question and be super honest and real with yourself. You don't have to talk to anybody about it because it's not about anyone else. It's about being real with yourself. It's being your own coach. Because as we are all one, we're all accountable. There are so many reasons that there's like 8 billion of us. We are all accountable. We all have desires and dreams. And we are so powerful that we get to all embody them. What? Artin, what do you think about this? Like, seriously, I know that we're going over, but for real, this is coming in so strong right now. This is coming in so strong right now. Do you see how many people, even in the South, I even see myself, I see myself, I see how in myself, in the past, how I have done this. Have you done this? Do you see this?
Oh, of
And do you,
course.
I mean,
Of course, I've done that. I mean, I do believe that if you're not there, you're meant to be there. If you're there, you were meant to be there. And if you're not there, it's just because you're still learning through emotions. Emotions being energy emotion through your physical body in terms of electricity, your fascia, your system, how much they can hold before going blacking out, burning out, disease. The 98% of diseases are caused by stress. Dot dot dot.
you're going to need to say that
There's
again for those
physical.
who are
Yeah,
asleep.
the 98%. There's like the ones who need the repetition. The 98% of diseases are caused by the stress, by the amount of energy that goes through your body that you haven't prepared to receive such of amount. You can't do it. That's somatics. That's somatics. And mental, reframing, visualization, whatsoever, emotional. You're already working through it because it's energy, and then you're understanding more of the emotions. The or is that the left brain wants its part, and spiritual stuff. So we're bringing in all layers for you to be your own coach, to embody your own coach, that highest self of yours that coaches the lowest selves through the wisdom it needs, uh, with different modalities and approaches. You get so many, you choose yours. That will happen on the 3rd of December, 2022. And in New York City, welcome me. It's the first time in New York City. I want to repeat it. Just find the link and buy yourself in. If you don't want to be alone, invite others. There's referral program. You get basically what you'll get is a discount because like there's a referral program and you get others to buy into it and you're together and like it's more powerful because we'll talk about it. There's support system and accountability happening. Um, New York and globally online. Globally online, half the price. You want in? Choose it. You want embodiment? Choose it. You want next level? Choose that perspective. You want true spiritual wellness? Choose that perspective.
Yeah. Stop wasting money on coaches that aren't serving you. Become the
Serve
coach
yourself.
that's going to serve you, and then you will also know how to hire the coaches that are perfect for you. We're going to show you how.
Love you.
Love you.
Stay
Namaste,
unlimited.
everyone.
And
See you
namaste.
soon.